not from Frankfort, Kentucky, Chattanooga, Tennessee, or Walker County, Georgia, you've probably never heard of William LeBron Cooper. A lot of people in Frankfort call me Billy Cooper, mainly my older friends. But I'm just a regular, everyday working guy. I've been at water treatment plants for 25 years. I was raised in the Bible Belt as a Republican, and it sickens me to see what our government has become. The MAGA movement is nothing but a dictatorship in the making. The left has gone so far left; they're so worried about being politically correct that they don't have any common sense. Everybody in the United States knows this. Even the MAGA people are starting to come around and realize that Trump is just in line. He's just rich. He's making himself rich off of our country. He set it up so that the country could close down, so he could give Argentina $20 billion, so they could sell soy to China, so China could throw him a kickback. It's my opinion. Can't prove it, but I'm sure it can be proven. Now, he's blaming this on the Democrats, and his whole philosophy is divide and conquer. He wants the middle class to hate the poor. He wants the blacks to hate the whites, the blacks and the whites to hate the Mexicans. And as long as he can keep us divided, he can keep running this scam. But enough is enough. This is the United States of America. For the people, by the people. We're supposed to govern ourselves, people. We got to get rid of all these dirty politicians. We got to vote them out of office. I don't care if they've been in office for 5 years or 30 years. They need to be voted out of office. We need to elect people that are the best people from our states that we know, people that we can relate to, people that we know care about our state, and elect him as governor. I think Richard Sandiford would be a perfect governor for Kentucky, the state that I'm a mayoral candidate for 2028 in. And every state should do this. Your city, you should find somebody who cares about your city, who's not rich, stuck-up, fuddy-duddy, who doesn't know anything about going to the grocery store or pumping his gas or driving his car, and has some common sense, and elect him to the local office. I don't care if it's alderman. I don't care if it's mayor. I don't care if it's a judge. If there's a good lawyer in your town, a good defense lawyer, vote him to be a judge. He will do what's right. There's a lot of good people in this world. They just ain't none of them politicians. Politicians have been bought off years ago by corporations and the very rich and elite. And they've rigged the system so there's such a wealth gap that the poor can never get out of poverty, and the wealthy will always be wealthy. The only way we can fix this is to bring the power back to the people that have worked their whole lives in this country, and they've lived here, and they've brought up their families here, fighting the system the whole time because the system's not built for them. The system's built for the powerful. Well, it's time to put an end to that. If it's not time for change now, when's change gonna come? If we're not gonna change it, who's gonna change it for us? We have to do something. Millennials, you know your parents, you know their politics. Start a campaign. Get them elected mayor. Get them elected governor of your state. Let's have open debates where that we can talk about what each individual wants to do to make our local governments run the way we want them to run. Because this country is supposed to be run by us, we the people, not the elite. It's become an oligarchy. It's ridiculous. Trump is unfit for office. He needs to be Section 25. He needs to be found unfit. He needs to be put in old folks' home, in my opinion. No, I don't think J.D. Vance is a real good guy, but I think he has enough common sense to put people around him that will guide him in a way where he can make it through the presidency without breaking as many laws. Trump just thinks he's the king of the world. He thinks he can do whatever he wants because he got the Supreme Government or the Supreme Court to say that anything that the president does isn't illegal. Well, that's a damn lie. That's what Nixon tried. If the president does it, it isn't illegal. What happened to him? He resigned, and Ford took his charges away because he was going to go to jail. The president was going to go to jail while in office. It's the same country we live in now. It's just a different Supreme Court. Supreme Court should not be a lifetime appointment. Supreme Court should be changed out every 5 to 10 years. You should not get to run for more than 2 terms as Congress or Senate. Just like the presidency. It's common sense. The world changes every day. And it becomes worse every day. We can make this country better than it has ever been. Other countries are laughing at us. They're just standing back and watching us destroy ourselves. They don't have to battle us. They don't have to come over here and start a war. They can just watch us destroy ourselves. We're going to fall like Rome if we don't take our country back. Now it's time to take the power back to the people. I pledge, if you elect me as mayor of Frankfort, Kentucky, that I will walk the streets and I will talk to my constituents. That's you, the people who live in Frankfort. And I will ask you what improvements do you think need to be made to make your city a better city to live in. And I will go back to the board and I will vote your interest because I want us to be a shining light on the hill for all the other cities to look at and say, that's how we want our city ran. Richard stands for much of the same things. He's one of the hardest working men I've ever known. He has down 2 or 3 jobs right now. He's been golly, I can't even name all the jobs he's been. He's a sheriff now, and he's on the ordinance control, and he has another job to the state. He's been he's done everything he can do at the state. And he's a man just like me. He goes to the grocery himself. He pumps his own gas. He drives his own car. He tries to make it by on the money that he makes. That's why he works more than one job. Is because if you're not rich, then you're struggling. You don't have to be that way. There's enough money in this country to go around. The top 5% of America has 90% of the money. That leaves 10% for the bottom 5. Or the bottom 95. That's insane. It's up to the young people. It's up to the middle-aged Generation X, Y, Z, millennials. You've got to get out and you've got to vote these politicians out of power and put regular people back in their seats. People that can make good common sense decisions to run this country the way it should be ran. I'm not saying America shouldn't be first. I'm saying America needs to be a globalized country. It has to be on. If we do not take control over the world like we have been for the last 60, 70 years where we police the world, then China's going to do it. Is that what we want? We want China going in and being the good guy, and we're going to be the bad guy now? Is that what it is? We're going to join Russia's team? I mean, that Russia-Ukraine war should have been over years ago. We should have went over there, and we should have took Putin out and let them elect a new somebody else, somebody that wasn't in the KGB to run their country, because he's a tyrant. He doesn't care about anything but money and control and power. That is not the people we need in power. The people we need in power don't want power. They want to help people. Now help me, help us bring the power back to people. I ask this humbly as a working citizen of the United States.